Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sorcery 2 Part 2. Or is it Sorcery Part 2? Sorcery Part 2. I almost had it. Alright, whatever. It's not Sorcery 2. Sorcery 1 Part 2. Sure. We were just about to go to the Festival of Thieves. Let's check it out. The path winds through fields, passing an orchard on one side. The trees are dying and bare of apples. On the other side, across muddy fields, you see the colors and flags of a festival. Then the view is shrouded by tall fences on either side. Look at the fences. You pause to look at the fences. The fields they contain may seem ordinary enough, but for some reason, the fences themselves are 2 or 3 times your height. There are no ladders to climb over that you can see, and no gates. Perhaps using magic might give you an advantage? So let's see. The fields they contain seem ordinary enough, but for some reason the fences themselves are 2 or 3 times your height. I don't trust that. Let's look through the fence. Peering through the fence, you see a square field of very long grass, which seems to be ungrazed, and which no one has cropped in a long time. Anything might be hidden in there. Well, I don't know if we're going to cast a spell, but let's see what we can cast. I guess we have the rewind feature, and we can just kind of explore a little bit. Let's see what we can do here. Tell. We can read minds. Which I don't know why we would do that. I might just do it just to see. What else can we do, though? Sense danger. That might be useful as well. Cause depression. I don't know about that. So there's obviously something dangerous here. That's what the spells are telling me. How? Find safe passage. I don't know if we necessarily need safe passage. Zap. Lightning. Again, not sure why. What's B got for me? Big. Grow in size. Let's try Tell since I've never used it before. And I think it only costs 1 stamina, so let's just give it a... Oh, it doesn't require any stamina. Let's see what happens. You put the skull cap on your head and cast a spell, scanning the area and the field behind the fence for thoughts, but you find nothing. It would seem there is nothing inside. At least, nothing with any ideas of its own. At least. Yeah, let's climb over. Let's go for it. You clamber up the first few rungs of the fence until you reach the top. From here you have a good view of the fair to the north and east, and the lower parts of Kar in the other direction. Towards the wall. But looking down into the field, you see nothing but long grass. Drop down into the field. You drop down from the fence into the field of long grass. This is a really bad idea. This is really dumb. It's a bad idea. I'm going to do it. You're standing in a field of grass that comes up almost to your neck, surrounded on all sides by a tall fence. I didn't quite realize it was that tall. I would never, ever, ever, ever in a million years do this, so we're probably going to rewind. But let's keep going. The field appears to be empty, however. Search the grass. You crouch low and feel around in the grass to see if there is anything hidden there. Suddenly, something grabs your wrist, holding you down low. Struggle free. You try to tug your arm free. But in thrashing around, you succeed in only tangling your limbs up in whatever it is that has hold of you. You're now fully held and being pulled down towards the earth. Pray for aid. You begin a quick and fervent prayer to the gorilla, and after a moment, you feel the grip on your arms and legs loosening. You waste no time and hurry away up the fence like a spider dropping back down gracefully onto the path. I don't like that. Let's rewind. Let's try cutting the grass. Draw my sword. Oh, never mind. Scream for help. You scream out for help, only to have the thick and curling grass stalks wind their way into your throat. You are pulled down to the very soil of the earth itself, and there you expect to be swallowed by some terrible beast. But nothing happens. You are lying on the ground under the grass, held firmly in place, but nothing else is happening. Looking around, you see you are not alone. Several other creatures are being held, from rabbits, squirrels, and rats to larger creatures. You can see a human foot in one direction and a Sven's clawed hoof in another. There are also assorted items, gold pouches, weapons, and farming equipment. All are tied firmly down by a thick knot of grasses. But, Sven and human, I couldn't read any minds. They must be dead, right? Well, let's try talking. You there! Oh, wait. I'm female in this game, aren't I? You there! You call out. Can you hear me? Neither foot gives any reaction. You try to reach out and poke the Sven, but of course you cannot move your arms. If you can hear me, wiggle your toe, you call out. Neither toe wiggles. Looking more closely at the human foot, you notice that the toe is a deeply unsettling blue color. That's when you realize the owner of the toe is no longer alive. No, I had already realized that game. Come on. The grass around your neck is very slowly tightening its hold. We don't really need gold. Let's reach for a weapon. You reach out, hoping to snatch one of the weapons nearby, but of course you cannot move your arms. From somewhere outside the field, you hear a voice. Works even better than we expected. It's at least 10 times as strong as normal pilfer grass. It'd be good to test it out on a giant. I've invited Anvar, replies the second voice. He's the strongest creature in Kar right now. We'll see how he fares. So I'm not going to cry out for help. They're obviously not going to help me, so let's cast a spell. You look up to the stars for a spell to cast, but there is no use. With your arms tied down, you cannot craft magic. Why? That's so annoying. Help me, please. The voices stop. There is a dark chuckle. Well, do you hear that? I do. Sounds like we might get to do your test after all. You seem to be trapped without hope of escape. Will you starve to death down here? As it turns out, it is the grass growing into your throat that finishes you off. You have been suffocated by grass. Your adventure is at an end. They might get to do my test and then I die. That seems weird. So I want to play around with this a little bit more, I think. So let's go to follow the path. We're going to cast a different spell here, I think. And hopefully we can defeat the grass and get the weapon and stuff. So there's Big, there's Zap, there's... I think those are the only two, like, potential solves I have. So let's try Big. You cast a spell growing it to 3 times your normal size, easily tall enough to see over the fences. But there is nothing in the field that they contain except for long grass, which doesn't seem so long anymore. Step over the fence. Let's see what happens now. You step over the fence into the field of long grass. The giant spell fades, leaving you standing in the field of grass that comes almost to your neck. That's annoying. That's really dumb. Why'd it go away so quickly? Alright, this time I think we're going to lightning shit. So, I don't know how I feel about rewinding like this. You cast a spell, firing a blast of lightning through the bars of the fence and into the field. The grass catches alight in moments and quickly burns away. When it is gone, nothing is left but blackened earth. If anything was being hidden in the grass, it is now burnt up as well. There's nothing more to see here, and it is an uncomfortably warm place to stand. Sure. Okay, I guess there's just nothing I can do here. Maybe if I had a different spell that I could use, but the other ones didn't really seem to be that useful. So I guess we'll just keep walking. You hurry onwards, aware that you stand in a tight spot. Up ahead, you can see the path emerging, and beyond there seems to be a road. So, wait, we can't go to the Festival of Thieves? I thought that's what I was doing. Wah! Oh well, no adventure for me. You emerge onto a wide road that leads up a gentle slope towards a cliff edge. Look at the cliff. You turn to look up at the cliff, which rises suddenly out of the middle of the fields. Along its ridge is a line of finer buildings, though most have fallen into wrack and ruin. Fallen into wrack? That's not a term I've heard before. Look down the road. Looking back downhill, you see a few distant buildings, and beyond, the point where the three roads into car diverged. Time to move on. So, if I turn left, I'm just going back to where I was. And I kind of messed up, didn't I? I wanted to go to the Festival of Thieves, but I ended up bypassing it completely. This was just a death trap. And I don't want to go backwards. We're supposed to be going to this bridge, presumably. So let's just keep on going. You continue tramping through the fields until after about half an hour, you emerge onto a wider road heading uphill towards the center of Car. Look around. To the right of the main road, a track lined with colored flags leads along the line of the cliff. A short distance from the road is a small hut built from mud bricks. Smoke rises from its chimney, and a thick, rich smell wafts from its door. Your stomach grumbles ravenously in response. Oh, I thought I had rations for some reason. So we can take the main road and go through the artist quarter, which seems fine. We can enter the small hut, which, I don't know. Or we can head for the flags and go to the Festival of Thieves. I thought we were going to the Festival of Thieves anyways. The only thing is, I kind of want to go over here now. Mansion Row. Let's head to the Festival of Thieves. I want to check it out. You follow the wide path between the flags. After a few minutes, you notice something in the distance. A dark mass, with bright colors shining through. It is not until you hear the sound when you realize what it is. A huge crowd of people, gathered around a set of tents. It is a fair. Alright, here we go. I don't know what a Festival of Thieves is like, but I'm going to find out. People and creatures sprawl across the path, and several tents have been erected, their poles joined together by more flags. You ease your way into the edge of the gathered crowd. It all looks good-spirited and fun, and with so many people here, perhaps you will pick up some useful information. Listen. You mill through the crowd, keeping your ears open for anything interesting. But most people in the center of the field are arguing over where to go next, or lamenting how many gold pieces they have spent. You might do better to have a closer look at something. Okay. The top of the midway. I think that's my only option, yeah. Come on, let's do some games. You walk to the north end of the fairground midway. The fair continues from here, and a road leads away uphill. The place is full of bluster and noise. Huge numbers of people crowd around the boxing ring, and more clap their hands and stamp as they watch a group of dancers. Bare-knuckle fighting, musicians, the end of the fair, leave the fair. So we kind of entered it backwards. I want to go to, this looks like stuff, places you can buy things, so I want to go check that out real quick. You push your way through the crowds to the very heart of the fair, and look around at the attractions on offer. There's a beer tent, hell yeah, dancing bear. The end of the midway. Let's go to the beer tent, of course. But we have to be careful what we drink. Just by the river is a low tent, surrounded by several stumbling figures. It could almost be a tent for dancing, except for the strong smell of brewed grain that drifts over the air. In the stall, a group of 3 half-goblin women are pouring mugs of beer and talking to the locals. A sign reads, 1 mug, 1 gold, 4 mugs, 6 gold. Smell the air. You pause to inhale the rich smell of the brewed grains that hangs around the tent. It is quite nourishing. One of the bar women catches your smile. Nice, yes, she says. Even nicer in a glass. A tall, spindly creature raises his voice to announce he is buying 4 mugs. A huge cheer goes up, but mostly from the women behind the bar. Talk to the bartender. You elbow your way to the bar and wave to attract the attention of one of the women. Greetings, she smiles. What can I do for you? Why are 4 mugs so expensive? You ask. Isn't it cheaper to buy 4 separately? Oh no, the woman replies, smiling sweetly. It's a special offer, you see. 4 mugs for 6 gold pieces. But that's more than buying separately. Oh, the goblin lady replies, I see your mistake. It's a common one. We should fix the sign. But she doesn't explain. She quickly disappears to serve another customer. Just then, two creatures walk past.
So you say he wasn't dead when they buried him?
Hisses the first.
Not quite dead,
the other replies. Enough undead you could talk to him. Follow the conversation. You move away from the tent to listen to the creatures.
Nobles,
the first creature remarks.
Why can't they just stay dead when they get dead?
Couldn't agree more, the other replies. But at least they buried him anyway. One less noble for the boss to worry about.
The creatures disappear into the crowd. A stocky dwarf knocks into you briefly.
Begging your pardon,
he murmurs before slipping away into the crowd. We're to buy 4 mugs, fuck it. You head back over to the tent and wait for the gobliness. I'll buy 4, you say. The half-goblin woman returns with a grin and raises a cry as you pay 6 gold pieces as she pulls the drinks.
He's buying 4! Another lucky customer taking advantage of our offer!
Nearby drunks turn their heads. Offer to share it. I'll share them, you tell the surrounding crowd. The woman behind the bar nods and murmurs.
Good idea. This stuff is a bit too strong to drink a lot of.
She sets down 4 mugs in front of you. Drink 1 mug and share the others. You share 3 of the mugs around, then lift the 4th yourself in a cheerful salute. The ale looks muddy and somewhat disgusting. In fact, it doesn't taste like beer at all. Drink more. Regardless, you drink more. Finishing the mug. It doesn't taste like any beer you've had before. Suddenly, you feel your stomach start to groan and ache. You stagger against the bar.
Had too much, have you?
Asks the woman at the bar.
Why don't you settle your stomach with another?
Buy another. Too far under the influence not to agree, you buy another mug of beer and drain it. Now you feel really bad, and your head and stomach are swirling like you've been face down in a cesspool. As you stagger away from the hut, stumbling over your feet, you look back and see a wide pipe running from the back of the tent and directly into the Jabaji River. The last thing you realize is that the beer wasn't beer at all, but river water. That's disgusting, but obvious. I don't know. I don't really know what the game was trying to do here, because obviously the 4 mugs was overpriced, and I don't know. I don't know what it's trying to do there. I knew I was being poisoned, but sure. Whatever. I just couldn't believe it. I guess it was so obvious. Maybe that's what they were doing. I don't know. In any case, we are gonna go back there because I actually want to listen for those creatures again. So let's skip all this real quick. Why are 4 mugs so expensive? But that's more than buying separately. She moves away. I follow the conversation. And then we leave the tent. You don't like the look of it, so you leave the crowd and walk away from the tent. Look back. Looking back, you notice a pipe running from the tent directly into the Jabaji River. It seems that beer isn't beer after all. The fair spreads out all around you, a collection of booths and rings and tents and stalls. Hawkers announce the various attractions at the top of their lungs. The general atmosphere is cheerful, with just a hint of violence. So, do we want to check out what's over here? It says the inn, so I don't know if that's really... We can go check out the Dancing Bear. I was hoping to be able to buy stuff. You cross the fair to join a crowd that's gathered at a safe distance around a dancing bear. A dwarf stands in front of the bear holding a lead that is fastened to a ring in the creature's nose.
See my beauty dance,
he growls, jerking the cord. The bear stumbles around in obvious pain. Okay. As he tugs the cable, he plays a pipe with great gusto. The laughter at the poor bear's performance. Oh, we're freeing the bear. The treatment of the creature is heartbreaking, and you wonder what the bear might do if the cord holding its back was cut. But there are several people in the way, and the dwarf is unlikely to let you near. Let's see what spells we can cast. We have all of the stamina. I'm just kind of worried the bear is going to kill everyone. Control non-intelligent creatures. Zap. I don't know if that's a good idea in a crowded area. Nip. Cause speed. Requires yellow powder. Okay, sure. Create stench. Should I create a stench? I think I have the nose plugs. Let's try it. You cast the spell, but for some reason, nothing happens. It is most curious. Suddenly a cry goes up from somewhere.
My gold! My gold! Pickpocket! Beware! There is a pickpocket at work!
You and the rest of the crowd spin round towards the voice and see a small creature darting off away from the crowd into one of the tents. Who got some of my gold. You elbow your way through the crowd, hoping to grab the pickpocket, but there are too many people in the way. By the time you have pushed to the edge of the crowd, the little figure has vanished. Someone shouts,
What's happening to the dwarf?
Go after the pickpocket. Look, he stole a lot of our gold. You slip quickly away, listening to the hue and cry as more of the crowd discover that they too have been robbed. You keep one hand firmly on your gold until you are back outside the crowd. From across the field comes a murmur of excitement. Then, quite suddenly, a small tornado lifts the tent sharply up into the air and away. What? I don't understand what just happened right there. Okay, we're going to rewind. I'm not really sure what happened. So we're going to free the bear again. Oddly enough, I don't think I can cast any spells. Because nothing happened with the stench. Well, maybe nothing happened because they all already smell. So I'll try again, but I don't think this is going to work. T. No. K. I. D. Create illusions. I don't have the capacity for that. I don't think that's all that we can do, so let's just go back. I don't think any of these are going to be useful. So let's create a distraction. Fire! You shout at the top of your lungs. Fire, blah blah. That bear is on fire, and the audience fall about laughing. Pickpocket. Chase him. What's happening to the dwarf? Look back at the dwarf. You turn to see the dwarf and bear disappearing into the floor, as if they were sculptures of ice, now melting. Just illusions, perhaps? The crowd are out for blood now. It seems several of them have been robbed. Turning on one another, accusations of theft begin to fly this way and that. Things are turning ugly, and you are caught in the middle of it. See what I can get. In the tumult, you wait for an opportunity. In every fight, there will always be some gold patches swinging low for the plucking. You're knocked about a fair bit as you wait, but finally, you see a bulging wallet just inches from your grasp. We're going to take it. You reach out and snatch the wallet. It's a lucky grab, 8 gold pieces. Then an arb grabs you, and you look up to find yourself staring into the huge face of a mountain man.
You're a thief, are you?
The man asks. Run for it. You turn and start to run, but the mountain man grabs your arm.
And where do you think you're going?
He demands.
Let go of me, heathen!
The mountain man spits in your eye in reply. I don't really know what's happening right now. Bash him. Let's bash him again. Boom. Eat it. Then we're gonna go for another bash and we're gonna win this shit. No? What? Fine. Again. We boxed. 1 stamina loss. Brilliant boxing. Keep your gold, thief. You slither your way back out of the crowd to the main part of the fair. From across the field comes a murmur of excitement. Then quite suddenly, a small tornado lifts the tent sharply up into the air and away. Strange. So I only ended up losing 2 gold from that whole affair. So let's just head out of here. Seems like none of these are going to net me anything good. But, should we go bare knuckle boxing? Yeah, let's go bare knuckle boxing. If I had the flute, I would do the jig thing, but I can't do that. You cross the fairground to a wrestling ring. A ruffian inside is announcing the current challenge.
People of Kar, are you ready for a
Fight! In the white corner we have our challenger, Anvar, the Barbarian! The crowd cheers and whoops. Look over Anvar. Anvar is about half as tall as you again, with sheets of muscle on his arms and legs. But he's probably lighter than the ogre, which will mean he has less momentum. And in the black corner, the brawling champion of Kar, the one they call Skull Splitter, the ogre Kagu of Danule! Place a bet. You find a wagerman by looking for his enormous hat, to which odds and returns are pinned on bits of cloth. Feeling lucky, are you? He chuckles with evident glee. His palms are sweating, and you notice he carries flick blades inside his sleeves. Place your money on me. Ask the odds. What are the odds? 3-1 on the challenger, he says. 1-3 on the champion. Which one's the challenger? Skull Splitter is the champion. Anvar is the challenger. Place a bet. You take your money from your pocket. Bet on the barbarian. I bet on the barbarian, you tell him. Maximum bet is 3 gold pieces, the bookie says. Good odd, though. Bet 3. You hand over 3 gold pieces, and the bookkeeper makes a mark on his hat for your bet. Meanwhile, in the ring, the fight has begun. The barbarian in the white corner growls and beats his chest. The ogre raises his fists into the air and shakes them. Wait and watch. You hang back and watch. The ogre roars with rage and powers forward against the barbarian, landing a mighty blow. Now, the ogre looks on good form, but then the barbarian comes back with an unexpected thump. Can wait and watch again. You can't look away. The barbarian beats his chest and pounds the ogre heavily about the head. Suddenly, Anvar is looking good. The barbarian staggers suddenly. The crowd gasps, but then he picks himself up once more. Wait and watch. The fight is getting tense, but the combatants are clearly weakening. The ogre's lip has split and is bleeding. Anvar roars and thumps his opponent in the back, but the fight could still go either way. You wait and watch. Growling and muttering, the ogre thunders into the barbarian, cracking his skull. The match is very even. You can't look away. Finally, it's all over. With a single throw, Skull Splitter the ogre throws Anvar the barbarian clear out of the ring. The crowd goes wild. You catch the bookkeeper's eye in the crowd, and he shrugs, taking your betting slip from his hat, screwing it up, and throwing it away. Inside the ring, the master of the fight raises the ogre's fist in the air. Who challenges our champion? The prize is 10 gold pieces. Of course I am. I challenge him, you cry. All eyes turn to look at you. The fight master beams. We have a stranger taking the challenge. Let her through. Into the ring we go. The crowd parts and you are helped up into the ring. Under his breath, the fight master outlined the rules. A fair fight, no magic, and pound your opponent until they can't stand. Ready? He asks. Fight! In the black corner, then, the ruffian announces, is Skull Splitter. In the white corner, the ruffian turns to you and hisses, What should I call you? The stranger. The stranger! You ready your fists. Oh man, this is going to be a bit tough. I think we're going to go for the old block at the start. Let's go for a 4.6. Huh? Then we're going to block. Then we're going to go for it hard here. No, you son of a bitch. We're going to go for it again. Ha, we got him. Then we're going to block. Then we're going to block again. Oh, what a dildo. Then we're going to go for it. Go for the kill shot. Why does that only do one? That's annoying. Okay, we should be good after this. Alright, full force hit here. Blammo! 5 stamina loss. Tough punishment. It's okay. Should I try again? I'll try again. So let's go for the 0.9. Yes. Yes, yes. Then we go for the 6. Then we're going to block. We're going to go for a clout. Then I think we're going to go for a big one here. 6.4. Ah, you son of a bitch. You got me that time. 5.3 might be enough. Yeah, there we go. So let's just block right here because I would have lost. Then we're going to go for it. Alright, so we only lost 2 stamina that time. Not too shabby. You stagger from the ring, the crowd cheering for you, and collect your winnings. So now we're up gold. Yay! I don't really care for the musicians. We're going to leave the fair, and then we're just going to go back along this way instead of going directly up this path. Because I want to go check out the artist area. So let's head back out of here, I think. We ended up gold. There's a pathway from the fair to the right. You leave the crowd and quickly put the noise and bustle behind you. Unfortunately, we didn't get to steal anything. So let's check out this small hut, and then we'll probably end the episode there, and then go check out Dwarf Town and Artist Quarter and all that stuff. It looks pretty interesting. I find it pretty cool how they managed to give this actual depth here. Can you notice that? Like where when I move it, it looks like it's an actual cliff, and it's not just like flat. It's pretty cool. I don't know how they did that. The door to the small hut is a little ajar. A pleasant smell drifts out, but you hear nothing from inside. Knock. You knock firmly on the door. A voice calls back,
"Enter, friend, but be careful as you open the door."
Slip through the doorway. You slip through the doorway as carefully as you can. Looking up, you notice a jar of some kind of liquid balanced precariously atop the door. The shop is a kitchen. There's a fire in the grate with a pot above it, which bubbles and smokes. On the walls hang herbs, vegetables, meats, and cooking equipment. But how hard you look, you cannot seem to see the speaker. Probably the octopus man right there. Look near the hearth. Looking again, you suddenly notice the strange-looking creature standing beside the pot. He has a human torso, but his head is nothing but a green-colored jelly. He is hard to spot because of the vegetables hanging on the wall behind him. But you can tell he is the chef, as the long, sinuous tentacles coming from his head are scooping with ladles, steering with spoons, waving salt shakers, and brandishing a cleaver. What's probably a good voice for this?
"So what do you want?"
asks the creature. Talk to the creature. "Greetings, creature," you begin.
"Look,"
A creature complains. Its tentacle go back to steering, chopping, and mixing.
"I don't have all day. What do you want?"
"I'd like to buy some food."
"All right,"
the creature replies, giving his cauldron a quick steer, but not taking his eyes off you.
"It's 5 gold pieces, and it's bristle beats kidneys. Hope that's all right with you."
Sure. You pay him the money, and he hands you a bowl of stew. It doesn't taste very nice, but you force a smile. The creature nods and offers you a drink to help wash it down. Sure. You drink it down. It's actually quite refreshing. With your meal finished, there is not much more to be done. Your hunger satisfied, you thank the cleaning creature and leave the hut. Okay, I thought that would be more interesting. I guess I could have attacked him, but that's not really... My other asshole character would have totally attacked him. Maybe I might replay this when I'm done with it. I probably won't record it, unless it's a lot of fun, but I think the city would have been... So the first part, my asshole character kind of flew through everything and wasn't that great, but I feel like he might be better suited for the city than her, because it's a city of thieves and scoundrels and stuff, and I think he would be more well suited to steal stuff and break some people's noses and that type of thing. But in any case, we're going to hit up the artist quarter next. It looks kind of interesting. We haven't even made it to the second half of the city yet. This is obviously a much longer part than the first one, so that's kind of interesting. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.